Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. I'm starting this one off a little bit different because I have this huge McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Joker box set. This is the Deluxe Collector Set, the Live with Murray Franklin set. This is an authenticated limited edition, 4,400 pieces of these made. That's still a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's probably a small amount. But the reason why I got this set, because this set is $250, but big shout out and thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for sending this so I can review for you guys. I wanted to talk about this set because we got the recent news that McFarlane Toys has lost the DC license. Mattel has picked it back up, so Mattel will be producing action figures. I am 99% certain, positive, sure, that Mattel will not make this particular version of the Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I could be absolutely wrong on that, but I'm willing to bet that they won't make a figure. Now, this set is $250. Let me open it up so you guys can see. So, it comes with the Joker, Murray Franklin, and like the set piece, so the desk, the backdrop, plant, a couple of chairs and things like that. And then there's some life-size replica stuff. It looks like it comes with a notebook replica, the Don't Forget to Smile metal sign. It has an open Mike Knight poster and the Forgive My Laughter medicinal card, medical card that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker has in the movie. Arthur Fleck. So this set is $250. That's really high priced. Here's the weird thing about it, and I've heard from some toy industry people. Most recently at WonderCon, I talked to one of the marketing managers of a major toy company. I don't want to give out any information, but he had talked to me about some of the licensing things. We had discussed like Mondo, Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters pricings, and what he said was, it sounds like a licensing issue. Why those Ghostbusters figures are $101 specifically, because that's an odd price, right? That the licensing dictates pricing potentially, right? That's not always going to necessarily be the nature, but in this particular case, the Joker license, this particular Arthur Fleck Joker license, has dictated a high value price, because I think what they don't want is they don't want to potentially glorify this version of the Joker. So one thing is, InArt Queen Studios makes these high-end, super high-end 1/6 scale figures. They made one for the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. That thing was $1,000 because what I've heard is for licensing agreements, they could not sell it for less than $1,000. So InArt's way of how do we get the value in for the $1,000? They made it a 2-pack. They did two 1/6 scale Joaquin Phoenix Joker figures, two different looks from the movie, to justify the $1,000 price. So I think in this particular case, Todd McFarlane Toys, added the life-size replica stuff, the whole backdrop, the Murray Franklin, Robert De Niro figure, the accessories and things like that to try and add the value into the $250. This is pure speculation. I could absolutely be wrong, but I'm just, from what I can hear, what I can gather, that's kind of my speculation on it, and that's the reason for this. So $250, is that overpriced to get a Joker figure? Absolutely. But is it the only way to get the Joker figure? Yeah, kind of. Now, will this go clearance somewhere? Potentially, maybe, who knows? But again, $250. People were mad about the price, so much so that even McFarlane Toys had made a statement saying they wanted to add the value. They didn't just come out and say, oh, because of licensing agreement, we couldn't sell it for less. I don't know if they fully came out and said that, but that's what's going on there. So that's the information on here for the Arthur Fleck Joker figure. I'm going to open it up and we'll look at all the stuff, even the life-size stuff. We'll go to the regular review station so you guys can see it. This Joker figure does look really, really good. And again, I think this is the only way we're going to get an Arthur Fleck Joker figure. So that's one of the reasons why I partnered with Big Bad Toy Store to be able to show you guys this. Because again, this may be your only opportunity to get close to a 1/12 scale. What is a 1/10 scale? 7-inch McFarlane Toys figure. So let's go ahead and check it out. And then you guys let me know if you guys see the value in it for $250. If you love the Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, Arthur Fleck, this may be your only way to get the action figure. So you guys give me your thoughts, but let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I've got the figures out of the package, and there a couple of things. The likeness to Robert De Niro is pretty good, surprisingly good. The likeness to Arthur Fleck Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, is extremely good. Really, really good. The figures are just kind of okay. I mean, they fall in line with kind of McFarlane Toys. Sometimes they're hits, sometimes they're misses when it comes to the suited bodies. You know, when they do, like, the joints, like the elbow joints, the knee joints, always look kind of funky. They don't look natural. There's, you know, some things going there. But the figure itself does look pretty good. The Robert De Niro figure, the Murray Franklin, looks pretty good. The set pieces are not bad. The floor is cardboard, and it's kind of not laying flat for some reason. The backdrop is plastic. The cityscape skyline back there, that is a cardboard piece in there, but the rest of it is plastic. The desk is there. There's not a whole lot to it. You get the coffee mug, you get the microphone, you do get the handgun that Arthur Fleck uses to shoot Murray Franklin. You do get his joke book, which it says you can make out some stuff, like at the top it says jokes, and then down here it's scribbled in there. It says people expect you to behave people expect you to behave as if you don't. Like, the details of this is really, really nice. I mean, just like, look at the details in that. That is just crazy that they were able to fit in like those kinds of details in this little tiny notebook there. So that is really cool. So we have that there. And then Joker, Arthur Fleck, comes with a couple of different face plates. So you could swap out the face plates, which are pretty cool. So this is kind of the sad or angry type-ish face, right? So just kind of, you see, you know, he's definitely not smiling. And then here he's kind of smiling. He's got a little bit of a smirk there, and he's got the blood splashed on him after he shoots Franklin Murray. Because as you can see there, he's got the big smile going. And then we get some extra hands. So he's got grip hands now. And then we also get a pair of fists for Joker. And then we also get a trigger finger for his left hand. Well, trigger finger for both there. So trigger finger hands for Arthur Fleck. And then it does come with some of those one-to-one life replicas, the one-to-one scale things. So let's go ahead and get those out of the way and check them out. All right, so I have the life-size replicas here, and again, you know, McFarlane Toys did stuff to try and put the value into this $250 set. So the way I would understand it is Warner Brothers is probably like, hey, if you want to do an Arthur Fleck Joker figure, you could do it, but you're going to have to charge $250. Maybe it's a way to say it's for sure only going to be adult collectors. Kids are not going to get, you know, this character in action figure form. I don't know. So a couple of things. We've got the medical condition card. Here on the back it says, "Forgive my laughter, I have a condition," more on back. And then it says, "It's a medical condition causing sudden, frequent, and uncontrollable laughter that doesn't match how you feel. It can happen in people with a brain injury or certain neurological conditions. Thank you. Kindly return this card." It is laminated, as you can see there. Here is the Joker Live with Murray Franklin Certificate of Authenticity. So I didn't know that it had the Certificate of Authenticity. So the trading card on the back, you know, it says Todd McFarlane, blah, 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 this and that. This is number 2,190 of 4,400. So they're individually numbered. So that is also pretty cool. There, we get this metal sign that says, "Don't smile." Was this the "Don't forget to smile" or whatever it is? So it is metal sign there. We get a poster, the Pogo's Comedy Club Open Mic Night. It's just a piece of paper flyer there. Happy hour every Thursday till 8 p.m. So we got that there. And then we get the notebook. So City of Gotham Department of Health, case number 064823, Dr. Crane. So that's interesting. Dr. Crane, which we know is the Scarecrow. It says, "Patient Arthur Fleck. If found, please return to Gotham City." There's a phone number. It says, "Wet the crowd." I don't know if the spelling is just terrible in this. But there's stuff like filled out only towards the beginning, I guess. So there's some interesting stuff in here. Slick hair. Okay, next step. There's some drawings. There's some scribbles and things in here. I'm not going to go through all of it. But that's what we got in here to give us that $250 value. But you guys let me know what you guys think. But let's get back to the figures. Okay, so now that you guys have taken a look at those 1-to-1 scale replica things, let's get into the figures. We're going to get Murray Franklin out of the way, and then we're going to take a look at Arthur Fleck. But you know what? Before we do that, let's look at like these small accessories and things. So the Live with Murray Franklin coffee mug. This thing is massively huge, right? That's too big, obviously. Like, I mean, it fits in his hand, sure, but like that's a huge coffee mug. Like compared to like what a real coffee mug would look like, right? So we have that there. We got the microphone here. It's just black with a little bit of silver dry brushing. It looks like on there, nothing special. We got that. Whoop, the handgun, it's gone. I dropped it. Lost forever. Let's zoom out. We got the desk here. The desk is somewhat, I guess, detailed on the outside, but as you can see on the flip side, it is completely hollowed out. There is nothing to it. It's very thin plastic, but it gets the job done. Like, it's a TV set, so it's probably like that in real life, for all we know. So there's not a whole lot going there. We get this fake plant. The fake plant is surprisingly done really well. It reminds me of like aquarium plants, right? The same type of plastic fake plants that you might find. We've got that going on there. So this is actually done quite nicely. Be careful when pulling it out of the package if you get it, because the normal thought is let me just easily grab by the plants and pull, but you know, you want to grab by the pot and pull it. So this is actually kind of cool. We get a couple of chairs here. We get this taller chair for Franklin Murray there. It's got this orange leather-like texture to it. And then it's got some weathering around the edges, so that is kind of nicely done. But it's just, you know, thin piece of plastic there as well. And then the guest chair that Arthur Fleck Joker sits on, kind of the same thing. Gonna get this leathery material and some weathering around the armrest and everything like that. And then silver base for the stand, and then not a whole lot going on in the back of it, so you just kind of see it from the front. So we've got that there. And then the set piece, as you could see, it actually comes in two different pieces that you snap together. Right here is the seam. You get that Live with Franklin Murray logo there, which is actually pretty cool. And then the flooring is just a cardboard piece, and then it just like plugs into the backdrop, as you can see there. And then looking at the back of the backdrop again, we get that cardboard cutout for that cityscape back there. So that is the whole set piece and everything like that. So pretty cool. But let's get those out of the way for now, and then let's focus on those figures. Okay, so here is a look at the Murray Franklin, the Robert De Niro figure, and it looks pretty good. I'm not going to say that it's the greatest likeness, but it's better than I thought it would be. Get a little bit of blush in there to kind of bring out the details, make it look a little bit realistic. Some gray paint in the hair and everything like that. Looks pretty good. Again, I see the likeness. Again, it's not perfect from side view, side profile. I think it looks a little bit better, but there we go there. He's just got like this plaid suit going on, and I couldn't tell you for sure if this is a suit, if this suited body we've seen before. I can tell you that it is not the same figure as the Arthur Fleck, so it is not like the same legs and things like that, so it's not the same body. The arms are different and everything like that. Now, whether this is a new body or not, I could not tell you, but that's what we got going on there. So just kind of the plaid design all throughout the figure. He doesn't come with any other accessories or anything like that. So that is the Franklin Murray. Now we're going to take a look at the Arthur Fleck Joker figure, and this thing looks pretty good. One thing, you know, the McFarlane figures, they have very long legs and everything like that. And then the diaper piece is a little bit large, and I feel like the upper body isn't quite as big as like the legs should be. I feel like it's a little bit out of proportion, but otherwise it does look pretty good. Like if you look at, he's got kind of some thick legs, large diaper piece, but then the upper body feels a little bit small. Now the jacket makes it feel big, but the torso itself is actually kind of small in there, if that makes sense. But otherwise, like the head sculpt, I think looks really good. Like to me, that just screams Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck Joker. They did a fantastic job with the sculpt, and then especially with the paint. To me, it looks perfect. Came out looking really, really good. There's this shading or this wash kind of throughout the entirety of the figure, so you could see kind of in the wrinkles of the coat, wrinkles of the pants, and everything like that. You could just see that kind of that dark wash that's in there. And then his shoes in there. You get the wingtip shoes. Just looks really good. The jacket doesn't open up or anything like that, but looks nice. Now we get a couple of different face plates, swappable face plates to go with Arthur Fleck Joker. So let's go ahead and check those out. I don't know exactly. I haven't done that with any of the McFarlane figures. I know he's been doing that a lot lately. Oh, I guess it just, oh, that's the stuff of nightmares when you just look at it like that. That's kind of crazy. Let's first put this one on here. This one's kind of the upset, not happy face, as you can see there. And again, I think this looks really, really good there. Very nice, very Joaquin Phoenix likeness there. And then the next one is the one that has the blood splatter in there. He's got a little bit of a smirk going on there. So we'll pop that face plate in there. And then you have him there. And again, that looks really, really good. I like that a lot. One thing that I really forgot to mention as we kind of looked at the figure, one thing that McFarlane Toys does, like, it makes sense some places. Like here, the knees don't look so bad. We get some curvature to them, so it doesn't look too bad. But here with like Arthur Fleck's, it's just straight across. Why didn't we get some curve to kind of make it look natural? And then here with the way they did the crease in this pant leg and the knee, it looks very, very funky. Like, I don't know why they did the knee like that. It's just very odd, very flat. Again, the curvature, I think would have looked nice. It's just an odd design. And that's going to be my biggest critique on this figure. But other than that, again, I think it does look really good. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over the articulation. So first with Murray Franklin, I don't know how much he really needs to move or anything like that. You're not going to get a whole lot of movement in the head, basically a little bit of swivel. It's kind of hard to even swivel him all the way around. He can look down somewhat. He's definitely not going to be able to look up. You can get the arm to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. Upper bicep swivel in there. Double jointed elbow gives you that much bend there at the elbow. Wrist swivel and they hinge. They are on a ball joint so you can swivel and hinge around as needed. You got the diaphragm cut on Murray Franklin so you could swivel around. You could tilt to the left as you could see there. You could tilt to his right as you could see there. You can lean back a little bit, but the coat's going to get in the way, and then you can lean forward a fair amount there as you could see. Swivel at that diaphragm. You can get a swivel at that waist as well, and then I guess with the ball joint, like, you could get him to tilt quite a bit all the way. Like, that's really good. Surprisingly really good. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward only that far, so not a whole lot kicking forward, and the leg goes back a little bit. There's absolutely no thigh swivel in there though, so just a heads up on that. You get a double jointed knee, gives you that much bend there at the knee. You can't really swivel the ankle around. You can't hinge down a whole lot, can't hinge up a whole lot, and you have toe articulation in there, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So that is the Murray Franklin, excuse me. And then the Arthur Fleck Joker, this is what you guys had came to see. He cannot look up. He's got the long hair. He can't really look down, unfortunately, too. I mean, he can kind of look down a little bit. You do get a nice swivel in there. Some pivot, but not a whole lot going on in there. The arm, you can get the arm to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. There is a little bit of that butterfly in there, but with the rubber jacket, it's going to be hard to kind of get him to move around. You got the upper bicep swivel in there. Double jointed elbow gives you that much bend there at the elbow. Wrist swivel on the ball peg so you could swivel and hinge which way you need. The articulation that he has in his torso, it's hard to say because you get this full rubber overlay in there, so you don't know what articulation you can get out of him, but you could tilt to the right that much there. You could tilt to the left that much there. You can lean back a little bit, but it kind of gets in the way. And again, this diaper joint just looks so big, so much bigger than it needs to be. He can lean forward that much there. You get a swivel at the waist. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward that far, so more than Murray Franklin, which is good. Leg goes back a little bit. There's no thigh swivel whatsoever. Double jointed knee gives you that much bend there at the knee. Foot, you can swivel around the foot a little bit. You can hinge down down a little bit. You can hinge up a little bit. You even had a little bit of clicking in there. You got the toe articulation and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Not a huge amount of articulation on Joker. Like, I don't even know if you can get him into like one of his dancing poses when he's on the steps. I'm going to give it a shot, but I feel like you might not be able to get him to do that. And even if you could, how are you going to get him to balance? But let's see what I could do. You know what? You can get him into the pose a little bit. It was kind of hard to get him to stand. That's because you can't really get the floor to level out. If you have him on a different spot or whatever, it would be much easier to get him to stand. But you can do some things. Obviously. Now, next, I'm going to try the kicking where he kicks. And I don't know if I can pull that one off, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, kind of, but I'm cheating because I got the little, the little stand in there to kind of hold him in place, but, yeah, kind of, a little bit. Okay, so last one here is like when he's at the top of the steps. I don't know if, I don't remember if this is when he started doing the dancing or whatever the case may be, but you can get him in some of those dancing poses. Not that he's the most posable, but you can do some things, but really it's probably just about setting him up in the set to do what he did in the movie. So let's go ahead and put that together. Okay, guys, and there we have it. The live with Murray Franklin from Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix, Arthur Fleck version movie. Again, at the beginning of the video, I had talked about, the price of the set, whether or not you feel Todd McFarlane added value enough to the collector set to make it worth the $250. That's going to be on each person, whether they see the value or not. How much do you want, an Arthur Fleck action figure Joker? Because again, in my opinion, this is the only way it's going to get done. Warner Brothers probably said, hey, if you want to do an action figure, here are the stipulations to the license. $250, can't sell it for less than that. Figure out how you're going to do it for $250. And, Todd builds the set, puts the Murray Franklin figure in there, gives us the 1-to-1 scale replica stuff to try and build the value. But again, that's going to be on each person, whether they see it or not. I can see people not liking it. I can see people liking it. But again, I think, determining factors, if you want the Arthur Fleck action figure, this is the way to get it. I truly don't see Mattel ever doing it. I don't see this getting a single release at all somewhere down the line, like some people commented. I just don't see it happening. So you guys let me know down in the comments below. Do you think McFarlane added enough in this to warrant the $250, or do you feel it's still overpriced? Like the movie, didn't like it enough to want to get an action figure? You guys give me your thoughts down in the comments below. I enjoyed the movie for what it was. I think it's a good mental health movie. The DC aspect with Joker and the Wayne family and everything like that, I truly don't care for. I think just the movie story in and of itself, take away all the character names and everything like that, and it would still be a really good movie. I'd seen it once. I have no desire to see it again. That's not to say that it was a bad movie by any means. I do think it was a very good movie. It was also a hard one to watch because I felt it portrayed the mental state of Arthur Fleck in a very raw way that felt very real. And that's just, my take on the movie. But you guys give me your thoughts on it. If you're looking to pick this up, again, bigbadtoystore.com. They have it in stock. Link in the video description below. And let me know. If you have the set, let me know what you guys think. If you're happy with it, see the value in it, give me all your guys' thoughts in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.